The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.
Well, welcome everybody. For the next 30 minutes, we're going to get a chance to talk a little bit more about the Trilogy of OPTAVIA and what we have to offer in our full offering. And we're going to get a chance to speak to 4 successful chiropractors on why they chose to offer our OPTAVIA Healthy Lifestyle Program inside their practice and outside their practice to help them to not only get healthier themselves, but to also to help their patients, their friends, and their family members. So welcome to the presentation, and we're excited that you joined us. So my name is David Bush, and I get a chance to be your host and moderator tonight. And I'm not a chiropractor, but I am married to the daughter of a chiropractor, and we have lots of chiropractors in our immediate family. My wife has many cousins, a brother-in-law, great friends that are chiropractors, and we've had a chance to benefit from chiropractic services our entire lives. And it's helped us to become a healthier family. But what a lot of the chiropractors that are in our family didn't have was they didn't have a healthy lifestyle program that was simple to implement and easy to offer towards everybody, whether the patients that were in their office or outside their office. As you can see, my personal journey was a pretty amazing transformation. I lost 100 pounds on this health and lifestyle coaching program, and I began to help many other people, including healthcare professionals, chiropractors of many different sorts and shapes and sizes around the country, as well as physical therapists and other healthcare professionals. And it was because of this program that I was able to transform my personal health because of the amazing pioneering work of the physician that you see here on the screen. Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson was the 10th physician board certified in critical care. He graduated as the valedictorian of his medical class, and with a lot of passion and excitement, he began to pioneer the subspecialty of critical care. He spent 2 decades working at the Grandview Hospital in Dayton, Ohio, and running the surgical anesthesiology department, and began to become one of the most effective physicians around the country. But what was happening to him was that he was feeling like he was not ending up providing what patients ultimately needed, which was lifestyle changes. And while he was able to save their life in the operating room, what he wasn't able to do was provide them lifelong habits, lifelong transformation. So with an exciting time, he decided that he was going to leave critical care medicine, and him and his wife, Lori Anderson, a nurse anesthetist, began to go out there and pioneer the thing that we call OPTAVIA today. And what he did was he created a lifestyle program, and he partnered it with a medically credible program that had been around for many decades before he left medicine and was having great success in the area of designing helpful weight loss programs. But what they were struggling with was providing lifelong transformation. People could use the program to lose weight, but they couldn't necessarily sustain the changes unless they got behavioral counseling or behavioral modification. So Dr. A had the wonderful idea of creating the Habits of Health system to provide a solution for lifelong transformation and utilizing this amazing organization that had already been withstanding for many decades. And what our program and our opportunity has come to become now is one of the most powerful organizations in the country. And many individuals are seeing the opportunity and saying, this is the kind of program America needs to get healthier. And our mission is to get America healthy and then the world. And many of the financial periodicals and other organizations that really identify the fast-growing companies in the country are starting to see that OPTAVIA is on the rise. In 2016, 2017, our parent company was recognized as one of the top 100 most trustworthy companies in the country. And we're seeing now a nice incline in terms of our opportunities with health professionals and non-health professionals who are excited about teaching people how to create health and transformation in their life. OPTAVIA, as you can see in the logo, is actually made up of 24 radiants. And what that stands for is creating more optimal days. What we're trying to do in our program is not try to teach people to diet or lose weight. We're trying to help people to create optimal days while giving them a very simple step to get started on the journey. And what we're going to do during this presentation is we're going to walk you through how our program works and show you how we can really make a huge dent in society in regards to reversing the trends of obesity and also helping those people that are wanting to provide these programs inside of their clinics and even inside their communities. So when you look at the statistics on the screen, you can imagine we have a severe epidemic on our hands. And many of you who are chiropractors or non-healthcare professionals, you know this. Your family is struggling, your friends are struggling. Many Americans are really struggling to just survive through this process of the obesogenic environment that we live in. And what we need to create is a simple on-ramp. While it's great to provide them with healthy nutrition and shopping lists and even go to the grocery store with them, we all know that it's not the food that we're eating that's killing us. It's what's consuming us that's killing us, which is the busyness and the fact that we're all trying to live life at the speed of life, but we're not able to keep up with the planning and the purchasing and the portion sizing of healthy food. We're on the go. We're always eating out. We're making healthy lifestyle choices very rarely, and that's leading us to this increase in body weight as well as the sedentary lifestyle because of all the technology that's out there. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through the 4 components that make up the OPTAVIA program and show you how the program works and why healthcare professionals are choosing to utilize it. To start off, I'm going to introduce you to an amazing chiropractor by the name of Dr. Krista Stanchuk, and she's out in Montana with her husband practicing, and she's got an amazing transformation story that doesn't just end with a physical transformation. And Dr. Krista, I can't wait for you to share your story with everybody else. Welcome to the webinar.
Thanks, David. I look at that picture from 2015 and I'm always a little bit taken back because I hardly recognize that person anymore. But what I'll tell you is back shortly after that picture was taken, I was sitting in our clinic. I was responsible for our accounts receivable, billing, scheduling. I also helped my husband, who's a chiropractor, with his patients, and I also saw mine. On top of that, I was bringing my 2 children to work because I was too broke to afford a nanny. So private practice was beating me up in a lot of different ways. And while we were creating a lot of success for ourselves, we were at that tipping point where we needed help but couldn't quite afford it. And I remember sitting there with my husband and saying to him, I think I need medication. I just can't handle these high highs and low lows anymore. And they were mostly low lows. And he looked at me and he said, you don't need medication. You need to eat right and exercise. And at the time, I was open to hearing that kind of feedback. Although I don't encourage you to have that conversation with your spouse that way, but it was exactly the catalyst that I needed. And so I called my coach, who's my mom, and I said, I'm ready to re-engage in this, program and do it right. I had done this before, but I treated it like a diet. And I got diet results. I put all my weight back on as soon as stress levels rose, and I had 2 kids, and I just was looking for that traction. And I knew that this program was simple, that it was easy and effective. And so, it's designed for busy people, and that is exactly what I needed because mentally I was tapped out. I was doing everything. And fortunately, my coach, who's my mom, is amazing, and she gave me a lot of grace. And what's wonderful about the coaching is it's not about knowing everything, that it's directing you to resources and encouraging you while you're on your path, and really just supporting, people. And so I really appreciated the accountability myself, and then also eventually moving into the coaching component, being able to provide that for other people. And getting back to how I felt, moving into the program, I immediately had this huge change in my energy and feeling success and getting traction. And I certainly think that my coach played a significant role into that and that encouraging. But the other thing too is I'm a recovering know-it-all. And the Habits of Health system, the first time that I did this program was something that I was like, I don't need that. I've got 8 years of education in health. And what do I need that for? I know everything, right? There's nothing new in there. when I finally opened that book in 2015, I started working my way through the book and companion guide. I couldn't believe how many things that I thought I knew that were actually incorrect, or concepts that I needed to let go of to move my health forward. Exercise being one of them. When you see that picture, I could barely complete a 5K. In 2017, after my transformation, I ran my first full marathon, and I just ran my second one in 2018. 2 months pregnant. So I definitely know that you can create some amazing results for yourself and move your health forward if you drop the concepts and lean into the coaching side of things, and then also to learn through the habits of health.
Well, I know that there's many chiropractors that are watching this that are saying, yeah, we've heard this stuff before. There's programs out there and there's processes, but what I have to say or what I have to offer my patients is really what's best. And I think that it's great that you are just sharing the humility that there are so many things that, healthcare professionals with almost a decade of training and, education still have to maybe unlearn a little bit in terms of what's available. And we'll get a chance to talk about those. But is there one thing, Dr. Krista, that really just stuck out that you felt like you had to unlearn, or you had to learn something new because maybe what you knew was not the whole story?
As far as like a concept in particular?
Yeah.
Oh man, that eat less, exercise more thing hung me up for years. And I found that you couldn't out exercise overeating or poor nutrition in general. And that I'm an exercise science major, and that was a major concept for me to let go of. But again, the difference between barely being able to complete a 5K and running a marathon are two different things. And you really got to learn how to fuel yourself appropriately for those activities. Yeah.
That's great. Just before we go, can you give us a little bit of experience on what you do with health coaching now and how many clients that you service on average and how you work it into your day?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've cut back in my clinic just in the last couple months. I'm in there about 6 hours a week. And I'm primarily health coaching now. And, my clients come from all over. It's not just our business. I work with people all across the country, which is one of the things that I love about this, because Montana's kind of small. And so it opens up that avenue to work with people all over the country. But, I'm working on average with between 20 to 40 people a month. It just really depends. And it's just brings a different kind of energy to my day, because it's more about coming alongside people rather than having to tell them what to do. So it's pretty fun.
That's great. Well, thanks so much for all that you do to serve and support others, and we look forward to seeing you again here soon. All right, we're going to go over to Dr. Cliff, and Dr. Cliff is in New Jersey, and another transformation story. And what Dr. Cliff is going to share a little bit about his story, but how this community of clients and coaches have impacted him and his patients and friends and family members. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the fueling model that we use to create predictable weight loss results and lifelong transformation. Dr. Cliff, welcome to the webinar.
Hey, thanks, Dave. I'm very excited to be here and honored. And, my experience with OPTAVIA started, I didn't have a weight loss issue as a kid. What happened with me in my 40s and 50s, I started putting on weight. And with that came all those weight-related health issues. And I struggled. I really did. As a matter of fact, my dad died at 47, and I was heading in the same direction as he was. My doctor actually said to my wife, if Cliff doesn't make any changes in about a couple of years, he may not even be here. And that was 7.5 years ago. I met, thank goodness I met Eric, my health coach, who introduced me to OPTAVIA. I lost 40 pounds, and all those weight-related issues, the blood pressure, the blood high sugar, the cholesterol and triglycerides, they all improved. And I felt better. I had incredible peace of mind that I knew I was going to live a longer and healthier life. So what happened, it just made so much sense to add this to my tool belt to help my patients. And, what happened was, as my patients started to get healthy and lose weight, they also started to, their chiropractic results just went through the roof. And, I always spoke about healthy habits, but then I was able to help friends and family in the community. And it really got to a point where I was able to close my chiropractic practice and go about a year and a half ago full-time into health coaching. And I no longer had the stresses of running a brick and mortar practice with, all those things that are related to that. As a matter of fact, this is my office pretty much right now. And I got my life back, and I got my wife, time with my wife and my family more. And my sister, she actually had multiple surgeries in this last year, and I was able to go with her to the hospital, to doctor visits, etc. And it's really been quite a blessing for me. And but I want to talk a little bit about the OPTAVIA community, and that is such a critical piece of what we have. When Dr. Anderson created the Habits of Health and our whole program, he knew that support and community was a key piece. So all our clients, they have access to local events. We have virtual events, Facebook support groups. If you were on the Habits of Health call at 8:30 right before this, you got to learn about aspects of health, and we have that every week. What I love about this for the client is tremendous value, and for the practitioner, the company does so much of the heavy lifting for us by providing these resources for our patients and our clients. And it gives us the time to really spend the time with what we do best, and that's supporting and helping our patients and our clients. The slide up here is about our fuelings, and we know that a healthy way to eat is to eat 6 times a day. And it's, to your point, David, earlier you mentioned people they're on a rush, they're in a hurry. There's so much confusion out there about how to eat properly. So it's very, very challenging for people to be able to eat the right foods with the right balance of macronutrients, of protein, carbohydrates, fat, fiber. So we provide these really best-in-class, state-of-the-art fuelings that help our clients and our patients use this as a tool. It's a catalyst to get into that state where the weight comes off quickly, easily, and it actually becomes fun, because patients start to see the results. They see the results happening so quickly, and then they get motivated, they get excited, and they get awakened to the possibility of actually wanting to integrate these healthy habits. So the fuelings are a tool. It's amazing. They work really well. And they really give people the opportunity to make those changes that they can then focus on the lifelong habits that are really going to make a long-term difference.
Thanks so much, Cliff. And I know that, there are, many chiropractors out there that are really into whole food, healthy nutrition, and even the healthiest of healthiest food, organic foods and things of that nature. Would you speak to just the nature of the quality of the fuelings that we use, and the balance of protein, carbohydrates, and just the efficacy of actually using them as a tool to teach people how to eat healthy, natural food that are just not ready to do all the planning and purchasing and portion sizing of healthy food?
Yeah, absolutely. The wonderful thing about our fuelings, and we call them fuelings for a reason, because people are fueling their body with good, nutritious, sound nutrition. They all have 24 vitamins and minerals. They have stood the test of time. I mean, really, they are the best in class. And they are, to your point, David, they're a tool, and they help people get into that state where they can lose the weight. And by the way, we're not just having people rely on products or fuelings. They use these in combination with at least one healthy meal that we guide them on. So for some people, this becomes almost a practice meal of what their future is going to look like. So we transition people from 5 or so of the fuelings per day to eating a very healthy end result, which is eating the way that we would like people to eat long term, but they just can't do it. They can't get there by themselves. And we figured it all out. And I'll tell you, it's nothing like anything that's out there in the marketplace.
Thanks so much, Dr. Cliff. We're going to go over and talk to Dr. Lynn Johnson in California now, and talk a little bit more about the full offering of OPTAVIA and how we're able to offer patients and friends and family members a solution that not only helps create a healthier body, but healthier mind and healthier finances. And Dr. Lynn's got an amazing story as well. Dr. Lynn, welcome to the webinar.
Hi, and thank you so much for this honor, David. I'm excited to share tonight because I really believe that OPTAVIA is the perfect fit for chiropractors. You know, most of us got into chiropractic because we wanted to be solution-oriented, not just symptom-oriented. And, you know, Ron and I have had a busy practice for 32 years, and we're really trying to help people from a holistic point of view, but we kind of realized something was missing. We're kind of biomechanically oriented, sports-oriented. We do a lot of physical therapy. And, you know, we'd give classes on taking care of the body, healthy eating, healthy sleep, lifestyle, that kind of thing. But we found that that percentage of people that would adopt those habits and stick with them was very, very small. We'd see the same people with the same conditions, you know, months and years later. And so, you know, our current overbooked and overstressed lifestyles make it hard for the average person to make changes without clear direction. And, you know, the changes have to do with optimal health, healthy mind, healthy body, and, you know, healthy finances. I'll talk about that in just a second. And it was about 6 years ago that Ron and I had gotten out of balance. Our life was too busy and too hectic, and we weren't paying attention. Mainly, we weren't paying attention. And both of us went on the program, found it to be like incredibly effective. I lost weight, my cholesterol went down. I had more energy. I'm 63 now. I had more energy than I had when I was 30. And, you know, it made such a big difference to me. There was no way that I was not going to share this with patients. And so I tried to get my patients to go to my health coach, which happened to be a cardiologist, who is probably why Ron and I even listened to him. Dr. Krista talked about being a little bullheaded. And I don't know, maybe it's something common to chiropractors. You know, we think we know it all. But, you know, I started coaching, and I kind of fell in love with it one client at a time because people got such amazing results. And one thing that thrilled me no end was when patients would come in and tell me the look on their MD's faces when they saw the transformations. It just, you know, I love blowing the MD's minds with, you know, something that we can help people with. And, you know, the other part of the whole program, you know, the healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances, the healthy mind part was something that we really adopted and developed and helped inspire other people to adopt as well. You know, most of us did not get into chiropractic to do paperwork and deal with insurance companies. We wanted to help people. And so being able to help people really gave us both some incredible psychic rewards that we'd gotten, you know, from chiropractic in a certain way, but now you were helping people in such a huge way. When certain people, you know, moms and dads would start shrinking, their kids would get healthier. You know, they'd start learning these habits of health that would help them, you know, move to another space and time. And it just became a blast. It actually changed the environment in our office. I mean, you know, we'd never been real huggy, you know, kind of chiropractors, but, you know, patients were just so happy and excited that the whole demeanor of the office became more loving and more deeply relational. And that's one of the big things I love about the community with OPTAVIA. You know, we went to an event 1 month into being coaches, and I was just floored by the caring nature and the empathy that everybody had, and everybody was there to help raise everybody up. And I saw this as a mission and a big new level of contribution to the world. And, you know, I am helping coaches build businesses for themselves, which is a blast unto itself. I never had any idea that I would be doing such a thing. But, you know, when you have a single mom that tells you, you know, I love the fact that I no longer have to decide what I'm going to buy at the grocery store. I just go buy what I want, you know? And when you can help somebody ramp up their finances, you know, oh my gosh, that's a whole new level of fulfillment. I mean, the psychic rewards are amazing. And when we look at those charts with the healthy body, healthy mind, healthy finances, if any of those things is way out of whack, you know, maybe you're making $1 million a year, but you're working 90 hours a week. You never see your family. You know, that's not a really healthy balance of life. Or maybe you're the fittest person on the planet and you're going to the gym constantly and you're taking showers there because you can't hardly afford your rent. If your finances are out of whack, and if your finances are out of kilter, how can you really feed yourself well? If you're going to really feed yourself well, it is not cheap. And you look at that wheel, and we have people look at that, and Ron and I looked at that big wheel when we first started, and I love that thing because you look at that and you say, my gosh, am I really living life according to what matters most to me? Are my relationships good? Am I making a contribution in my community? Healthy, chiropractors know the different ramifications of health. But then, finances. Do you have the finances to make great experiences for your family? That picture of me in the beginning, and it was all these different vacation places. Ron and I have created freedom in our life with this coaching so that we can absolutely positively, spend a lot more time with our family, spend a lot more time vacationing. I work a day and a half a week now in the office. And, to be able to go on work from a cruise ship and be able to keep creating a financial stream as I'm on a cruise ship. Cliff said something about brick and mortar, and it's true. This is lifestyle wise, this is a wonderful way to go. So thank you for letting me share.
You bet. Amazing story, Dr. Lynn. And, you're speaking, something that's probably new to a lot of chiropractors, this idea of offering the trilogy of optimal health and well-being to their patients. That's not necessarily the schooling or the education that they got. But many of them are working long nights and days, spending lots of hours in the clinic, not with their family. They are somewhat imprisoned to their clinic. And even the ones that are doing extremely well in their chiropractic clinic are oftentimes seeing their patients walking around unhealthy and not necessarily fulfilled. And if they can give them a vehicle like this, and they don't necessarily have to do the coaching themselves, we're featuring chiropractors today that are actually doing the coaching, but a lot of chiropractors partner with a CA or with a staff person to do the coaching while they're referring people to the individual that's doing the coaching. They can do kind of a team approach. But what's coming from that is this idea of people changing their trajectory and actually creating a healthier lifestyle. And not everybody decides to become a coach. Actually, a smaller percentage of actual clients become coaches, but what you can offer your patients and clients is you can offer them a vehicle. If they choose to improve their life by helping other people through this program, they can go through the training, they can learn how to create health and well-being in their life by helping other people to do the same. And this is a big market. This is not just some small little supplement opportunity. This is actually a major organization that's really capitalizing on this big market. Wellness is now a $3.72 trillion global industry, and there's been a 10.6% growth from 2013 to 2015. So what a great time to complement your practice and to add some additional cash-based income into the clinic that doesn't take away from any of the services that you're currently offering. And we're going to bring in Lynn's other counterpart here, her husband, Dr. Ron, and obviously some amazing success, as you can see from the pictures on the screen. He's had a chance to work with some elite athletes, but he himself had a great transformation with our program. And we're going to have Dr. Ron talk a little bit more about his transformation and how the training system with OPTAVIA helped him to become a great certified OPTAVIA coach. Dr. Ron, welcome to the webinar.
Great. Thank you so much, David. Truly an honor. I got to tell you, my OPTAVIA journey actually started 9 months prior to me joining OPTAVIA as a client. And I think as with so many other doctors, I heard about OPTAVIA initially from a husband and wife who are patients in the office and who are actually OPTAVIA coaches. And at that time, I got to tell you that it was in one ear and out the other. I was not interested. And as a doctor who was treating many professional athletes, I thought, wait a minute, patients are not supposed to give me health advice. I give them health advice. But I got to tell you, in my office, weight management was not really something that we talked about. And that was because I was 50 pounds overweight myself. it'd be almost like telling a patient that they need to stop smoking, and I'm a doctor that smokes. But regardless, Lee and Lana, when they were in the office, these OPTAVIA coaches, they planted a seed in my brain, and I began to think, what if, what if I could lose 50 pounds? But I continued to hesitate, and at the time I still thought, just like all the other chiropractors, I still thought I knew all the answers. And so I guess for me, it was what you learn after you know it all that counts, right? So after continuing to lose weight on my own, or trying to lose weight, I finally told Lynn that I was ready for the program. So that seed that was planted in my brain 9 months earlier now had begun to germinate. And I guess my stubbornness as well began to subside a bit. And so 9 weeks after that, after starting the program, I was 52 pounds lighter. My confidence was up and my energy was, through the roof, as you could expect. So really for us, becoming a health coach after my success was a no-brainer. So the program for me was that magical solution to a problem that I'd had for over 10 years. And there was no way I was going to keep this from my patients. So by being a coach, it really reinforces your decision to stay healthy. Lynn and I are doing those healthy habits continually every day, and we get to pay it forward. We get to make a difference in so many lives that it is so fun and rewarding that it's been more fun than we ever expected. Dr. Johnson, Lynn is out of the office, like she said. I've reduced my hours to about 13 hours a week. And we've been having more fun in our short years with OPTAVIA than we probably had in the whole time that we were practicing just chiropractic alone. So our legacy is that Lynn and we're still helping as many people as we can, and we're helping them with their dreams and aspirations. It's been incredibly rewarding for us. And what's nice is that you can join us at any level that you wish. You can be an OPTAVIA coach where you're just helping patients and friends on their journey, or you can become a business coach where you train and help other coaches become successful, or you can actually become a business leader where you can help teams of coaches succeed. Anything you choose, you have to know that the company is there to help you. The system is in place, and it's so simple to plug in. In closing, we just love helping people, which is why Lynn and I, as she said, became chiropractors in the first place. And now we can say we're not only helping them get out of pain, we're actually changing lives and fulfilling dreams. And did I say we're having a blast?
So good, Dr. Ron. Before I let you go, I'd love to ask you just one more question. And the question is just in terms of time and how much time that you and Dr. Lynn devoted to this in the very beginning versus where you are now, because obviously you're enjoying the fruits of your labors at this point. You've bought back some freedom from your practice, but what did it take in the very beginning to get things started, and how did that look inside your practice when you first started?
The way my first thought was, we do not have time for this. We are so busy that there is no possible way that we can add anything more to our plate. And then it was our coach that said, well, how much time do you think it'll take? I said, I don't care how much time it takes. I don't have that kind of time. But then when we started, we initially just started with about 4 hours a week. And then it wasn't long, we went to 8 hours a week and then 10 hours a week. And then right now, I mean, we're spending, Dr. Johnson spends, 20 hours a week because she's pretty much now transforming over to full-time OPTAVIA. But I was very surprised how much time that it didn't take. I mean, we make our checkup calls, we take, a few minutes. And for any chiropractor out there that thinks that they don't have the time, I have to tell you, I thought I was the busiest chiropractor in the world, and I couldn't believe how much time that it really doesn't take to have a successful OPTAVIA business that can coincide with your chiropractic office as well.
Great. Thanks so much, Dr. Ron. And, that's what we like to share with our health professional partners is that, there's a lot of different ways that this can be structured. You can work directly with the coach that invited you to this webinar, and you can refer patients to them, or they could actually help you to find someone to do the coaching, whether it's a patient or a friend or a family member. And then you also have the ability to take on the challenge of becoming an OPTAVIA coach, which the challenge is to really embrace something that you don't know that you don't know. And that's where I think a lot of chiropractors are really become awakened to the fact that they do have time, they like to do it, and it's actually fun to do. And it actually brings them a little bit more of a smile back because they see their patients not only holding their adjustments, but also bringing their friends to their chiropractic practice so that they can actually get access to this amazing program. And so it not only helps complement the current services, but it brings in new patients with this amazing offer of offering lifelong transformation. All of the training resources are available. You don't have to go back to school. You don't have to spend a lot of money. It's $199 to become an OPTAVIA coach with a $99 annual renewal fee. You get apprenticeship and business coaching as a complimentary service, plus a whole online portal, as well as a website where patients can place their orders. And in terms of opportunity, the income varies. Obviously, this is a business, and it's not any guarantees. There's no income floor and there's no income ceiling. So the people that don't help very many people don't get paid very much money, and the people that help the most people get paid very well. And you can get this income disclosure statement on our website to get more details on the income earnings and to find out what would be a right fit for you and your practice. And so on behalf of all of our panelists, I just want to say thanks for watching this video. If you know of others that would benefit from knowing about the coach opportunity, we really appreciate that you share that with them. And we really hope that you get back to the person that invited you to this presentation and really get some more details and get your questions answered and any of your concerns addressed, because we would love for you to partner with us and to become part of this amazing community called OPTAVIA. Thanks, everybody, and have a great night.
This audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.